No matter where you come from, no matter where you're going, here's a place where you can take comfort in the knowing that whether if you've come to stay a while or just passing through, this door is open to you. Come and let's be silent. Come and share a hug. Come, let's pray together. Come, love and be loved. From the blissed out to the turned out, from the pampered to the abused, this door is open to you. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. The God in us recognizes the God in you. The God in you. Whether you're black or white, gay or straight, Christian, Buddhist or Jew, this door is open to you.
Good morning, Unity.
Good morning.
Let's all stand to our feet.
Take a look at the person next to you.
Say, I recognize the God in you. Feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of love, we come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of love.
That's right.
Take a look at the person next to you. Say, I recognize the God in you. Feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of love, we come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of love, from every walk of life, every creed and color, and kinship we unite in honor of the God in each other. All right, everybody, now's the time in our service where we turn to our neighbor and greet them with a friendly handshake, hug, or bow. And we repeat to them the divinity salute. The divine in me greets the divine in you. And we serve and celebrate together for the glory of God. All right, come on, everybody. Take a look at the person next to you. Say namaste, I bow to you. Feel the love in the sanctuary. Now lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of love, we come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of love.
Good morning, Unity Renaissance. Woo! We come together in the name of love. Welcome, everyone in the sanctuary, and welcome to everyone joining us online. My name is Donna Shannon, and I have the honor of being your ministerial host today. I've been asked to share something that has impacted my life since I have been here at Unity Renaissance. And I have to share that I am deeply touched and moved by the genuine openness to diversity and inclusion in this community. Throughout my life, I've been in places where the words, the motto, and the creed might have said I was welcome, but I never actually felt included. It's like going to a party and not being asked to dance. But here at Unity Renaissance, I have been asked to dance. From the classes, from the book studies, to cultural activities, to prayer, and my most recent adventure in learning, sound healing, I've been supported and loved. And as a woman of African American descent and of a certain age, that has meant the world to me. At Unity Renaissance, there is a conscious effort to come together as one. There is a consciousness of love. And in the spirit of that oneness and love, please join me now in our vision statement. Together, a spiritually awakened world living in peace, love, and joy. And our mission statement, we transform lives that transform the world. Every Sunday, there are 2 prayer chaplains available to pray with you, and you can find them in the chapel across from the narthex. Would our prayer chaplains for today please stand? And now, as we prepare for our opening prayer, I invite all prayer chaplains in the sanctuary to stand to anchor us in prayer consciousness. God is all there is, and God is love. Everything and everyone is interconnected. There is no separation. We are one. We are one in the Spirit. We are one in God's love. And in this spirit of oneness and love, we can and we will transform lives and transform the world. I give thanks for this community, for Reverend René's leadership, for the music team, the AV team, and all who make this place a love-filled space on Sundays and every day. I'm thankful for all who say yes to a consciousness of love. I'm thankful for the divine love energy that flows through each of us. And I release these words into divine law, knowing that it is already done. And so it is. Ashe, ashe, ashe. Thank you.
Good morning, Unity Renaissance. I love you. It's an honor and a privilege to be able to serve as senior minister here. My name is Reverend René, and I I am stepping in as a platform host, and I'm stepping in for our beloved brother Boyd, who is also a part of our music team, and y'all may have been missing him the last couple weeks. And so what I have permission to share with you today is that a couple weeks ago, his brother received a diagnosis, and he is in hospice now, and Boyd and his nephews, his brother's sons, are companioning his beloved brother. And so we are holding Boyd and this family in our consciousness of love. We continue the prayer that has already been spoken, knowing that God is all there is, and that God is right where Boyd and his brother Gary and his children are. And that we anchor in our consciousness a compassion and a love for the family, and also a knowingness that life is eternal. Life is eternal. And so we bless this divine one as he matriculates and graduates into a next level of experience. And we just bless him and bless this journey. And so I just pause for a moment and invite us all to remember Boyd and this family in our prayers. And as we look at our e-blast, we see other individuals who we also hold in prayer for this community. So take a breath with me here. So this is my first time as platform host. I believe that there will be an affirmation. And our word for today from the Daily Word, February 2nd, 2025, is look ahead. Please join me in our affirmation. I look ahead with positive expectation. So many things pull my attention, the things I must attend to, meeting the needs of others, and even my own pursuits and passions require my time and attention. Setting and working towards goals may sound like a dull undertaking, but it's actually an empowering path to spiritual freedom. Working toward a goal helps me focus and keeps me motivated. I call upon and claim my spiritual gifts of imagination in order to set my goal and plan to achieve it. I use my gift of wisdom to discern the best path and my will to make the best choices. This is the way I use the power of God to give my life meaning and make my dreams come true. I look ahead, grateful for God's presence within me. Our scripture verse is from Proverbs chapter 4, verses 25 to 26. Let your eyes look directly forward, and let your gaze be straight before you. Keep straight the path of your feet, and all your ways will be sure. And now, please rise. Oh no, that's not what we're going to do next. Take another breath with me. As senior minister, I'm responsible for the content, messaging, and all things connected with the Sunday service. This month, Unity Renaissance will be acknowledging and celebrating Black History Month. And we're calling it African American History Month. My desire was that this be created by our own Black members and congregants. My intention was that it was meaningful to the people in our community whom I love, and that they share what is meaningful to them as we all learn, honor, and love one another. I've always loved the idea that in unity there is diversity and multiplicity, and it's all emanating from the same one source, God. So back of it all, we are all one. I believe we could exhaust ourselves by trying to celebrate all the individual groups. However, as a white person growing up in the United States, I believe that the unique history that we share warrant the recognition of both the horrifying and the triumphant, rich, and beautiful culture that has arisen from a system that has not been fully supportive of our Black brothers and sisters. I believe there is a healing to be had, and that our teaching and principles lead us there. We are not a teaching of avoidance, but rather of embrace, so that we can then heal and transcend our past. I love that this coincides with February, a month I associate with love. A contemplative quote that we will contemplate throughout the month is this: love embraces all things. Love forgives all things. It allows all things, and thereby transcends all things. Each week we will embrace a Black American who influenced our new thought teaching. Our children will share a presentation today. We will have a drumming and dance event next Saturday. And the art upon our walls are from a local Black artist. Ardell McCoy will be our docent for a tour at the Chrysler Museum featuring African American art and artists. And the music each Sunday will represent Black artists and Black culture. And so I want to say a special thank you, and by way of introduction, to our new music director, Nick Flores. All of this is on our website. Please register for these events early, especially the museum outing, which has limited space. And today we are honored by the presence of Quintina Harris, who will introduce us to Dr. Johnny Coleman, a powerful teacher of our early unity and New Thought movement. And at this time, I wish to thank her and all of those who participated in creating this program. In addition to Quintina, we have Adrian Dix, Donna Shannon, Ardell McCoy, Brittany Henderson, and Shamar Ballard, as well as Sandy Steffen, who assisted with curating the artist Richard Presser. And the title of the art exhibit is The Different Views of Beauty. So please take some time after the service to enjoy the art that is presented there. And now I present to you our very own Quintina.
God is my help. I can't be sick. Those words changed the trajectory of Reverend Dr. Johnny Coleman. Dr. Coleman was a pioneer in New Thought. She had a lot of firsts. Her first that I know of is that she was the first African American allowed to stay in Unity Village. In 1974, Reverend Johnny decided to break away just a little bit from Unity, and she developed the Universal Foundation for Better Living, which last year celebrated its 60th anniversary. This woman, and I did write something, but I couldn't follow it because to put her life, and she lived a long life, into 5 minutes is just simply impossible. I can't mention who some of her friends are, and some of you will recognize them. Her spiritual son is Ben Vereen from the movie Roots. She mentored and helped Les Brown, and her best friend was the Reverend Della Reese Lett. She left a legacy that will continue to go on. Her church, Christ Universal Temple in Chicago, Illinois, was the first mega church in the north. Right now, I would like to show a video of her talking about the power of imagination.
Listen to this. It is Listen to this. It is the duty of the imagination to picture clearly what we perceive in faith. Got a picture maker sitting up in you, and you didn't even know that, did you? So you go around just making pictures. Any kind of pictures that you see, you allow that imagination to get an image of it. Can you see where I'm coming from? From this moment on, not only are you going to watch your words, but you're going to do what? You're going to watch what you take. You're going to watch what you see. You're going to watch the image. And we have a very unique statement in New Thought, and we say it this way: believe, conceive, and achieve. Believe, faith. Conceive, image. And you will then achieve. You got it? Believe it, conceive it, then you will achieve it. Everything that appears in your body, life, and affairs is the result of your own image likeness patterns. Too bad, isn't it? Everything that you have in your life, world, and affairs, it could not get there if there had not been a picture just like whatever it is you have brought forth. Change the image if you don't like what you're doing. That's where it is. Imagination, get it straight, is an attribute of God. It is the formative power of thought. It is the molding power of the mind. It is that which gives shape, tone, and color to thinking. Every word, every combination of words, every word, every combination of words, every word, every combination of words has in back of them an image. Am I getting through to you? An image. You have made a picture, or it would not be in your life. Do you want a new life? Do you want a healthy body? Do you want a pocket full of money? Whatever you desire, you can have it when you visualize it. Have you ever heard the word visualization before? Do you know how to visualize? It's just another word to say, see whatever it is you want. Visualization means mentally seeing the things that you want to have in your life, world, and affairs. I wonder, have you got it?
Testify.
Now we stand for the Lord's song.
Holy Creator, we praise your name. Your will in heaven and earth the same. Supply our needs, Lord, from day to day. Let your forgiveness light our way. Lead us away from temptation's hold. Deliver us, Lord, into your fold. For all the kingdom, power, and praise, with you be be seated.
You ready? Ladies and gentlemen, for the first time in our church, introducing Miss Cookie K. Put your hands together. Come on, people. Put your hands together. Yeah. Woo!
Thank you.
Even though your winds blow, I want you to know you cause me no alarm, 'cause I'm safe in his arms. Even though your rain falls, I can still make things calm. Let there be peace. Now I can say, go away. I command you to move today, because of faith I have a brand new day. The sun will shine and I will be okay. That's what I told the storm. I told the storm. Oh yes, I did. The past. Oh, you can laugh. You've got to go away. I command you today. Oh, storm. When my God speaks, you have no choice in the matter. That's what I told the storm. I told the storm. Oh yes, I did. You can laugh. You've got to go away. I command you. Oh storm. When my God speaks, you got to see. That's what I told the storm. I told the storm. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. I don't have to worry about a thing. I told the storm. I'm more than a conqueror through Jesus Christ, and He is gonna bring me out. I told the storm. It's amazing grace that's brought me safe thus far, and grace is gonna lead me home. I stood on solid ground and took my storm, and you need to tell your storm today. Oh yes, I did. Storm, you can last. You got to go away. I command you, storm. When my God speaks, there's no choice. And that's what I told the storm.
Yeah, put your hands together. Come on.
I think you should get back up here, Cookie. Get back up here. Thank you, Cookie. What'd you tell that storm? Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it. What you going to tell that storm, my friends? We're going to tell it to pass. We're going to say, get thee behind me. We're going to turn from it and turn towards something else. This is a continuation of the conversations that we have been having. And I am so very grateful for the inspiration of the song and for the words of Dr. Johnny Coleman. Thank you so much for bringing those here today. Because the combination of the song and what we heard about imagination is that here's what I want you to know. Here's what I want you to hear. You are not a victim. You are not a victim of anything that's happening, of any storm that we have conjured up in this human experience, in the mind that believed that it was separate from God and made a mess. Those are the storms that we don't need to beat ourselves up for. But the storm, mind you, represents the conditions of mind, the conditions of fear, the conditions of separateness, the condition of othering and otherness, and the forgetfulness and the falling asleep to the idea that back of the multiplicity and the diversity that comes forth and from the one source, the one supply, that we are all one, that we are all one in this consciousness. And furthermore, oh my goodness gracious, man, we are brothers and sisters. We are all collectively the offspring of the father-mother presence, the mother-father presence. You see, we even release the idea of the patriarchal system here. We even begin to release some of that terminology to know that there's only one, and that the father and the mother are one, both necessary, the divine masculine, the divine feminine, that they come together in oneness to create each and every one of us as the one, as Christ. It is said that God is forever begetting the only begotten. Goddess is forever begetting the only begotten, and that's the Christ. Put the hand before the heart and say, Christ in me, my hope of glory. That Christ is my divine identity. That Christ is the I am of my being. Take a breath here. As Christ, you can repeat this too. As Christ, each of us, I abide in perfect safety beyond the storms. As Christ, I release the storm. I release anxiety. I release otherness. As Christ, I breathe in and out the love of God. Now, why is that? Because we are the love of God. We are the divine extension and expression of love. And look around the room. I mean, really, like, move your head and look around the room and see the diversity, the multiplicity, the unique and divine expressions. And then if you have the opportunity to look into the body eyes of an individual who is next to you, who is near you, soften the eyes and see beyond to the oneness that unites us now and always. I am what thou art. Say to a brother or sister, I am what thou art. Thou art what I am. Holy and beloved children of God. One family in unity. So I say thank you, Mother, Father, God, that this is already so, that this is the truth of our being, and that by being able to claim and declare that the storms of our life become still is us stepping into our power. Now, one of my very favorite teachings is this, and part of it's embraced with this idea that love embraces all things, that here in unity, we're not a teaching of avoidance, Now, you might walk in here and think, wow, man, they're just so happy all the time that they never have any storms in their lives. They must be charmed in some way. But the truth of the matter is that our happiness and joy actually comes from having faced the storm, having looked at the storm, not running away from it, not hiding from it, but allowing love to embrace it. Because if I created the storm, there is some good information in that storm for me. There is some really good information. And as Dr. Coleman said, if I got an image maker here in me, I'm the one who projected that image out, am I not? And so I'm really just looking at an unloved aspect of myself. I'm just looking at an aspect of myself that I pushed away outside of love's embrace, outside of understanding. Or perhaps it's just something that served me once at one level of consciousness, but no longer serves me now and has become a storm, and that the storm is actually for us and not against us. Take a breath here. How can death be for us? How can loss be for us? How can that be? What I can say to you is that always on the other side of me embracing those things that look like deaths, those things that look like loss, those things that look like change, those things that look like threat, oh my goodness gracious, those are the most fertile opportunities in our spiritual awakening. That's the grist for the mill. That's the sand in the oyster that becomes the pearl. That's the visitor that comes to the guest house and knocks upon your door and is there to clear us away for some new delight. How you gonna get that message if you don't embrace it a little bit? If you don't invite it in for tea? If you don't sit across from it and say, hey, what's your message? What have you got here for me? And how did I create you? What thought system did I partake of? Did I imagine? Did I conceive? Did I believe that would make my picture maker outpicture and project that storm? You see, we can hear, oh, well, change your thinking, change your life, right? We hear that. That's a catchphrase here in New Thought. How many of you had tried to change your thinking? Sometimes it's not so easy, is it? Because we've been thinking the thoughts time and time and time and time and time and time again. And if thoughts are things, and those thoughts become the matter from which I'm imagining things, and then I'm not only thinking the thoughts, but I'm having an image of it, it's pretty darn convincing, isn't it? And then you have brothers and sisters in a whole world all doing the same thing at once, and then guess what? They report it on the news. So then you turn it on, and you think, oh, well, it must be true. The biggest thing that we can do at this juncture in our spiritual growth, development, and unfoldment is to begin to question our own thoughts. Begin to question your thinking, my beloveds. Just because you think something and just because you now feel something about it doesn't make it true. We're in a very odd point in our human evolution. I'm not even sure evolution is the right word. Human devolution? Or stagnation, doesn't matter. We're at a very interesting thing where truth and facts are very convoluted, and it seems very confusing to us. But what I can say and tell you is that your answer, my answer, is never going to be out there. You're the image maker. We're the image maker. We're the ones choosing the beliefs that we are going to have our faith in. And that is nothing to bat an eye at. That's nothing to take lightly. Because that which we have faith in and that which we image becomes either the storms or the heaven of our experience. Question your thoughts. Question what you think you see. Question what you think you believe. My favorite way, I introduce myself a whole lot of different ways. I even change my name from time to time. For a while, my very favorite thing under my signature was a lover of what is. A lover of what is, including the storms. I'm going to love it all. Because love is going to embrace all things. And when I allow all things, I get to learn and see where my areas of forgiveness are. I'm going to forgive it all. And it is only in this way that I can transcend it. It's only in this way that I can then have the opportunity to choose again, to change my thinking and change my life, to change the images and utilize my imaginative faculty in a different way, to believe and conceive in a different way, to achieve different results. We must be discerning. Have you ever just felt like you just don't know, though? Oh. And then people come to me when they don't know. And I'm like, I don't know for myself. How am I going to know for you? Right? It's a lot of pressure. But here's the little trick, is that I always just get to direct everyone, including myself, back to in here. We're continuing a conversation about unity basic principles. And when there is a storm, a condition, an event that is an effect, something out there in the world, somewhere along the way, we individually and collectively have mistaken storms, conditions, events, news, people, places, things, all of that, the landscape of our lives, we have forgotten that we were the creators of it. And we give it power. How many of you look to conditions for permission for what you want to achieve? How many of you look to conditions to disqualify the things that your heart says you want? I'm too old. I'm too young. I'm not qualified. All of the, what are some other ones? There could be other ones. Anybody? Too expensive. I don't have enough. I'm not enough. I'm not enough. Yep, not qualified. No education. Oh, what will they think? They might laugh at me. So we're looking outside of ourselves for permission. And we've got it backwards. Doesn't matter what they think. God qualifies us. We're timeless beings. We're eternal beings. we have to pause and take a breath. I've been doing it ever since I got here. Started with not knowing what was next in that order of service. Pause and take a breath. I don't know. It starts with the sense that I'm thinking René knows. It starts when I get this little edge of control or an anxiety. I'm going to make something happen. I'm going to make something happen. Separate, untethered from the source that binds us all together, from that divine intelligence. So we started our conversation in Unity Basic Principles last month. And I kept doing 1 and 2 over and over and over and over again. Guess what? I'm going to do it right now again. There's one power and one presence in the universe, God. God is present everywhere. There is nowhere where God is not. God is the source of all intelligence, all wisdom. God is for me. There is nothing, can be nothing against me. God is all there is. 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 Play around with it. Say it in different ways. God is good all the time. No force of evil opposing it. That's the fabricated storm of separation. No boogeyman, no devil, no evil. You are a precious, beloved child of this. Number 2, God is I am. I am an extension and an expression of the love of God. What God is, I am. And yet I didn't make myself. So I continuously go to the source. I continuously go to the source. The only relationship of value is my relationship with God. What about my family? What about my kids? What about my job? Only one. You really only have to focus on one thing. We're in unity. Remember that. One thing, God. That's the only relationship. Well, I don't know what that means for me, but that's your job. That's your job to sit and ask, what must God be for me? What do I want to call it? How do I want to partake of it? Do I want to light candles? How am I going to remind myself, God is I am, God is I am. And then we continue that we are creative beings like our Creator, like unto our Creator. We're meaning-making machines through our thoughts. Thoughts are things. We're image-making machines. So it's all coming from our consciousness outward. And what we do here is we affirm, meditate, and pray. And we live the truth we speak of. We become the living, breathing embodiment of the truth. And in those moments when we don't know, we ask and we pause. I personally think thinking is overrated. Tough to say in a new thought community, right? Thought's right in the word, right in the title, new thought. But we're being asked to think new thoughts. Today is Groundhog's Day. Happy Groundhog's Day. Anybody ever watched the movie, in 1993 with Bill Murray? Living that same day over and over and over and over again and again and again. How many of you feel that way? I always laugh when the same storms keep coming. It's like neon lights. It's God. It's the universe. It's the benevolence of the universe. The perfect feedback loop reflecting back to you what? You. It doesn't get any nicer than that. It really doesn't. Oh. And rather than beat ourselves up or think we're guilty or sinners, what if we just kind of thought, isn't that interesting? You mean I can get off this loop? You mean I can think a different way? Image a different thought? Believe and conceive? Here's the deal. I got to tell you something. We're talking about principles and laws. There is a quote that says, this is from Browning, Robert Browning, all's love, yet all is law. Take a breath with me here, because we're going to finish up real quick here. All is love, yet all is law. I love the love. Not too crazy about the sound of law, right? But it's benevolent. It works. Thoughts are things. Events are neutral. Storms are neutral, really. We're going to experience the consequences of them? Sure. How else will we wake up? How else will it get our attention? And when it does, we're going to join in heart and mind with all that is. And instead of thinking we know, we're going to ask, Spirit, holy and divine, what is the truth here? What am I to learn? What am I to learn? What is this showing me about myself? How is this storm loving me now? And when we begin to do that, like Bill Murray in Groundhog's Day, we begin to turn more and more to love, to loving kindness. All is love. All is love. Love is going to point the way. Law is going to make it happen. Thoughts are things. Image-making machine. When you're watching the news these days, remember the way the ego works, the way the mind of fear works, the way that the separated mind works, is it's going to operate between suspicious and vicious. It ain't love. Okay? When you begin to see that, pause. Take a breath, disengage. That's not love. Don't let fear point the way. That ego mind understands and knows thoughts are things. It's going to hijack our spiritual principles. It's cunning and baffling. It knows. It's a wily little thing, right? I mean, we made it up. We're pretty crafty, aren't we? Right? And so then this idea of going back to the beginning. We know what's in charge by the storms we see and by the heavens we experience. Begin to be about thinking about and imagining heaven, the realm of ever-expanding good. When I was a little girl, I had a brother figure who used to tease me and beat me up and say terrible things about me. And when I naturally was my positive self, he called me Pollyanna. Sometimes we're called that in this teaching, aren't we? Oh, you're just Pollyanna. You got to be smart. You got to, right? Well, I'm saying, let's start thinking those thoughts that seem counterintuitive to what's going on in the world. Thoughts are things. What are you thinking? Begin to question your thoughts. What are back of your thoughts? Where are they coming from? Love or fear? And I leave you with this. The student comes to the teacher, as they always do, because there's a need, there's a conflict, there's something inside going on. And it's like the student describes it as these two wolves, and they're fighting all the time. And the wise person listens to the drama and the storms and the confusion and just listens, and as the wise one always does, simply asks. When the student asks which one's going to win, which one are you feeding? That's the one that's going to win. Which thoughts are you feeding? Which images are you feeding? Do they come from love? Or do they come from fear? And that's all there is. Well, there's more, and we'll talk about more. But really, love is always going to point the way. And guess what? It's going to be your heart, and you're going to feel it. And it's going to begin to pull you in directions that might seem unwise by the world's standards. And I'm going to encourage you to follow it anyway. To follow love. So let's take a breath here. I'm here to tell you it is done as we believe. Jesus, our brother and our way shower, taught us that. It is done as we believe. It is done as we conceive. It is done as we have faith in. It is done as we imagine. That word as is important. We're about to go into our song. That word as is important. Because it's like an equal sign. It is done as you believe. What you believe is how it's done. As. And so I've invited a favorite song. Are you guys ready for it? Or yeah? You got it? Okay. This is our meditation, which is a celebration today. Thank you.
She's revolving, and the rosebuds know to bloom in early May. Just as hay knows love's the cure, you can rest your mind assured that I'll be loving you always. As now can't reveal the mystery of tomorrow, but in passing we'll grow older every day. Just as all that's born is new, do know what I say is true, that I'll be loving you always. 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 Did you know that true love asks for nothing? Her acceptance is the way we pay. Did you know that life is giving love a guarantee to last through forever and another day? Just as time knew to move on since the beginning, and the seasons know exactly when to change. Just as kindness knows no shame, know through all your joy and pain, that I'll be loving you always. As today I know I'm living, but tomorrow could make me the past, but that I mustn't fear. For I'll know deep in my mind
right, so we just take a breath here. Oh my goodness gracious, this is our opportunity to give. And this is our generosity practice that as we give, as we give, we receive. And so we give from a place of love. We let love point the way. We infuse our gift with love. You may use the QR code. You may send in a check. There's a basket in the back. You can also do the text to give as well, which the number is up there. And so I just say, as we contemplate our gift and our offering, that we hold it to our heart in our mind's eye. Some of us have already given, and so we just give this gift. And we bless it. We bless the gift. We bless the giver. And we say this: divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And I am grateful.
Give and it's given back to you. Give and it's given back to you. Give and it's given back to you. Pressed down, shaken together, running over, back in good measure. It's given back to you.
Has anybody visited us for the very first time today? If you have, I'm just going to invite you to raise your hand. You may stand up. Our ushers are looking for you, and they're just going to offer you a gift, and that gift contains in it a card that you can provide information and then take it to the bookstore where you'll get another gift. Anyone joining us? Anyone online? We love you. Thank you for joining us online, and we love and appreciate you. Thank you so much. And now it's my opportunity to invite to the platform Ed Rosequist, who is our new treasurer, board member, and he has a few words to share with you. Thank you.
Happy morning. As René said, I'm the new co-treasurer with Don Grady, who is also one of our chaplains today, and I'm here to talk about prosperity. And I'm here to talk about prosperity because I believe God expects us to be prosperous on this earth. And I've certainly seen that in my life. Really a fortunate man. And I'm able to see my prosperity every day. And it's not just about money, okay? It's about a lot of other things. And I believe that as I become prosperous and as the congregation becomes more prosperous, visioning their treasure, their time, and their talent, that also creates a consciousness within this Unity family. And I'm so proud of that. You know, it's our founding minister talked a lot about keeping the lights on and the doors open. And that's an important aspect, not just for the facility, but for us. So I want to lead into next Sunday after the service. We're going to have Penny Sanchez here talking about our financial prosperity. This is a great time for all of us to think about where we are with our finances, but also what is possible, what is out there. So Penny will be hosting a workshop providing an opportunity for all of us to learn about our plans of growing our own financial prosperity. It's going to be an informational workshop designed to empower all of us to think about our financial future, plan your family's legacy, and also prepare for the unexpected. You know, a visit to the emergency room right now costs about $2,100 if you're not insured. And even if you are insured, you all know what you're paying in a copay. So something to think about. So again, Penny will guide us through some practical exercises next Sunday. She'll give us some real life scenarios and really talk about, you know, how we see ourselves as financially prosperous on this earth. So it's a free workshop. Just come along. We'll have a basket for any kind of donations if you feel fit to provide that. So I hope I see you Sunday after the service. Thank you.
And it's well before Super Bowl. Just saying. I also want to let you know that as a continuation of our celebration this month, we have a drum circle that starts at 11 a.m. on Saturday. Join us for a vibrant movement experience at our church as we celebrate Black History Month. Immerse yourself in the rhythms of African dance and drum, guided by a special guest instructor. It's uplifting, joyful celebration of culture and community, and you will not want to miss it. We will accept a love offering. There is no charge for this, and I plan to be there, and thank you, Brittany, for organizing that for us. Our board member on duty today is none other than Reverend Ann DeMichael. Yay. So she came all the way back up from Florida just to fulfill her duty today. So if you have any questions, please see her or give her a hug. And that is it. But you know what? I think we got something else planned, don't we? It has something to do with the kids, right? Yeah, you gonna lead us, Nick? Yep. They're ready.
Are you happy? I'm happy. 'Cause I'm happy. The room without a roof. 'Cause I'm happy from alone. You feel like happiness is the truth. Happy come along. You feel like that's what you wanna do. I'm happy. You feel that that's what you gotta do. Yes. All right. Wow, look at these guys. Everybody's happy. All right. That's what you wanna do. Happy.
Are you ready? Yeah. You got it good? Okay.
Do I start?
What? Are you ready for us?
Okay. Good morning. The children and youth are delighted and excited to kick off this celebration of Black History Month here at Unity Renaissance. We thank you, Reverend René, for allowing the celebration of a culture that has impacted every aspect of this nation and world history. We are grateful for your leadership and support, and now please welcome our children and youth. I am representing Misty Copeland today, one of the first African American dancers to fight for diversity. Now, Ruby Bridges became the first Black child to integrate in an all-white elementary school in the South, 1960. Kamala Harris became the first female, first Black, and first South Asian Vice President of the United States. Lenny Miller, Black auto racer. Right? Queen Nzinga led resistance efforts against Portuguese colonies in Angola during the 17th century. Garrett Morton invented the traffic signal and the gas mask, specifically improving public safety. George Washington Carver developed hundreds of agriculture products from peanuts and sweet potatoes. Rosa Parks, sparked by the Mongolia boycott by refusing to give up her seat, becoming a symbol of civil rights movement. How do I pronounce that? Kasiki Corbett, American scientist who led effort to create the world's first COVID-19 vaccine. Thurgood Marshall, the Supreme Court first African-American justice. Mariah Russell, first black woman chef to receive a Michelin star. Halle Berry, award-winning actress and producer who was the first black woman to win the Academy Award for Best Actress. Wilma Rudolph, American sprinter who overcame childhood polio and went on to become a world record-holding Olympic champion. Leotine Price, pioneer opera singer who broke racial barriers in classical music. Pharrell Williams, influential musician and producer known for his hit songs and contributions to music, fashion, and philanthropy. Jackie Robinson desegregated baseball. Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. led the civil rights movement and was instrumental in passage of Civil Rights Act of 1964. Simone Biles, winner of 11 Olympic medals for gymnastics and an advocate for mental health and athlete safety. Florence Giffen Joyner, known as FloJo, she set world records in track and field that still stand today. Barack Obama made history as the first African American president of the United States. Nelson Mandela, South African first black president who promoted peace and ended racist politics in country for advocate human rights worldwide. Dr. Daniel Hale Williams performed one of the first successful open heart surgeries in 1893. Malcolm X, a key figure in the black empowerment movement advocating for civil rights and civil determination. Michael Jordan, regarded as one of the greatest basketball players of all time, winning 6 NBA championships. Serena Williams dominated professional tennis, winning 23 Grand Slam singlet titles, the most in the Open era. Athleia Gibson, first African American woman to win a Grand Slam title. LeBron James, basketball legend known for dominance on court and contributions off the court. Contributions. Clarissa Shields, first American boxer, male or female, to win back-to-back Olympic gold medals. Jesse Owens won 4 gold medals at the 1936 Berlin Olympics, defying racial barriers. Louis Armstrong performed jazz with his trumpet playing and distinct voice, becoming a global music icon. This is a short list of contributions from Black Americans. Stay tuned for more information in the coming weeks. Thank you.
I just want to give a quick shout out to Miss Kathleen, who has made this possible. Thank you so much. And now, let us stand for the prayer of protection.
The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. And the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it
Everybody stay after for Rap with the Rev.
Everybody stay after for Rap with the Rev. Do not turn off the audio.
1 o'clock, everybody. 1 o'clock, Rap with the Rev. Right here in this beautiful sanctuary.